What's up, guys? It's your boy Cool. So we're back once again with another video, and in this video, we're going to be reacting to Denzel Washington destroyed woke culture. Denzel Washington is probably one of my favorite actors. Probably, I guess he's probably a lot of people's favorite actor, but he's like one or two. I like Jason Statham and Denzel Washington. Like these are people like I will literally search Denzel Washington movies and just look for one to watch that I haven't seen. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'm curious as to what he has to say.
Who you wound up supporting in the election, presidential election?
None of your business.
Damn straight.
None of my business.
None of your business.
In a world dominated by political correctness and divisive narratives, some voices dare to challenge the status quo. One such voice is Denzel Washington, a Hollywood legend who isn't afraid to speak his mind on race, politics, and the real issues facing society today. Today, we explore how Denzel Washington dismantles the so-called woke culture with wisdom, clarity, and brutal honesty. Let's take a closer look at his thoughts and the deeper message behind them.
What do you think about that?
I don't have to think about it. I've lived it. I've been the guy at the Oscars without my name being called. I've been the guy at the Oscars when my name is called. I've been the guy at the Oscars when everybody thought they was going to call my name and they didn't. So I've lived it.
So what would you say to the people who are looking at this process and saying it's unfair?
Yeah, and so what?
True.
You going to give up? If you're looking for an excuse, you'll find one.
In race.
You can find it wherever you like. You can't live like that. You just do the best you can do.
Denzel sets the tone by addressing a question about discrimination in the Oscars. His message is clear. Justifications and excuses are easy to find, but progress is only achieved through persistence and hard work. Denzel's response here is a direct challenge to the victimhood mentality, often encouraged by woke culture. Instead of dwelling on discrimination, he emphasizes personal responsibility and resilience.
Facts.
His message is clear. While injustices exist, success comes from persistence, not blaming the system. This is an empowering outlook that shifts the conversation from feeling oppressed to overcoming challenges through hard work. Building on this idea of personal responsibility and resilience, Denzel's thoughts on race and culture offer a deeper perspective on how we can bridge divides without relying on surface-level solutions.
So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not
produced this
color,
work?
it's culture.
Explain the difference,
Sure.
because I think we're in a
Steven
space right now.
Spielberg did Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List. But there are cultural differences. You know, I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not
Sure.
just a color difference.
The analogy of Spielberg directing Schindler's List and Scorsese directing Goodfellas speaks volumes. It's not just about who's behind the camera, but what experiences they bring to the story.
Facts.
This perspective goes against
If you have someone who cannot relate to certain things, they won't be able to get it as well as someone who can relate. You know, they might be able to do a good job, but they might not give the scene or whatever the case may be the best outcome that it can get. You know what I'm saying?
of woke culture, which tends to focus heavily on identity markers like race. Denzel's approach shows that cultural understanding, not simply race, is key to telling authentic stories and making real connections.
True.
This focus on culture rather than race naturally leads into Denzel's critique of how
Denzel been had all the hairstyles, so I'm just saying, baldy.
information and misinformation affects our worldview. In a world overloaded with opinions, how do we find the truth?
So what is the long-term effect of too much information? The polarization of the electorate? A meaner-spiritedness?
And false information as well, because the whole fake
of it.
news
Pick
thing.
Pick one. It's not just one. That's the flavor of the day. Every day is something else. People have to understand, are you using your device or is your device using you? Can you put it down? Can you turn it off?
You're talking about literally the places people get their information from.
I don't care what information. Pick one. Phone, television. You know, it used to be news. Now it's opinion news. Oh, glasses. We have three
Opinions.
experts on the right, three on the left. Let's discuss. Ooh, light bulbs. We have three experts on the right. That's not news. That's opinion news.
Well,
Over and over and over. Cycle,
Just
cycle,
different
cycle,
opinions.
cycle, cycle. What is the long-term effect of too much information? If you're sitting there and you're thinking it's the gospel, what I'm saying to people is, to all of us, I'm not knocking the phone. What I'm saying is we have to understand, we have to at least ask ourselves, around the world, you here in England, wherever you are, what is it doing to us?
Denzel's message is clear. We need to be more critical of the information we consume. This is a direct hit at the woke movement, which often thrives on viral outrage and quick opinions rather than thoughtful analysis. Denzel urges us to step back, think critically, and not let ourselves be controlled by the media's endless cycle of noise. As we reflect on how information shapes our perceptions, Denzel brings us back to the importance of accountability, not just in ourselves, but in the leaders we choose to represent us.
You know, I think this is what I think. I think we as Americans better learn to unite. I think we as Americans need to put our elected officials' feet to the fire and demand that they work together, or they won't get back in office. You know, in this age we live in, this accelerated information age, we're getting further and further apart. We're not getting together, we're getting further and further and further apart.
The fuck is talking so much?
Right. But I think this is an opportunity, actually. You see how people are being energized and protesting and all that. But I think this is an opportunity for us to look at ourselves as a country and say, are we together, really? And are we holding our elected officials accountable to making sure that they're working together? Not just, hey, you're on your side, I win what I win, you win what you win. Because this is what is happening. This is what's happening. And God only knows where it's going.
Rather than embracing the us versus them mentality often promoted by woke culture, Denzel calls for unity. He reminds us that change won't come from simply being loud or divisive. It comes from holding leaders accountable and working together.
But no one wants to work together these days. Exactly what he's saying. You know, he's out there talking about being like togetherness or whatever. And hear how much noise there is in the background. People cannot shut up and listen for a second. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just all rambling. Like his man is talking about stuff that actually makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, listen.
A culture that often pushes polarization, Denzel advocates for unity and accountability. He sees this moment as an opportunity for reflection and asks the hard question, are we really united, or are we just pretending to be while tearing each other apart? Denzel takes this critique of personal responsibility even further, turning the mirror back on us and our families. If we want to see real change, it has to start from within.
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies. I said, who? He said, little yummies. Look up, Google Little Yummy. Little Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system?
No, you blame the household. Yep.
It starts in the house.
Where was his father? Where was his mother?
And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
You know, like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, you know, 15 and 25. One did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example, and they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up at 13. My parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what they was doing, and the system got them. So
Denzel places the weight of responsibility not on systems or external forces, but on the foundation laid at home. This is a sharp critique of the current culture, which often focuses on blaming external systems. Denzel turns the mirror back on families and communities, reminding us that change begins in our homes, long before outside influences come into play. This notion of unity and accountability ties back to how we engage with each other, especially across racial and cultural lines. Denzel's next insight touches on the essence of building genuine human connections.
You know, race relationships have to do with race relationships. You're white or whatever you are, I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now. That's how we get things done. You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking each other. We have to step forward and ask questions about each other and engage. There's no law that says, oh, because I'm president, you all got to get along now. So it's up to us.
Denzel underscores that meaningful relationships between races are built through communication, not through laws or policies. The government can't force people to understand each other. It's up to individuals to make the effort to engage and connect. This is a direct critique of woke culture's reliance on legislation and top-down approaches to solving racial issues. Denzel's point is simple. Real change happens through dialogue and human interaction, not through rules and regulations. It's a call for personal responsibility in building bridges between communities. As Denzel calls for stronger communication and responsibility, he reflects on his own life experiences, reminding us that hard work and personal accountability are key to success, something he's lived through firsthand.
When I was 20, I worked for I grew up in Mount Vernon, New York. I worked for the sanitation department. I was a garbage man.
You were a garbage truck?
I was a garbage man. I worked the back of the truck, 22 square blocks. That's hard. Doing movies, there's nothing that we do in the movies that's hard.
I used to deliver for United Parcel Service on a truck.
Right.
That was hard.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a joke.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
His point is clear.
I like to point out some people like to make what they do sound like it's more difficult just because they need to verify, I shall say. Like they need to like not verify, that might not be the right word, but they just need to make it seem like for themselves like I'm getting paid this amount because it's harder than something else you're doing. For example, somebody else might have said, oh, making movies is way more difficult than being a garbage collector. Yeah, I don't have to go and drive around the block and pick up the smelly garbage and carry that shit into the back of the truck and stuff. But, oh, I have to get into my character and start after a little bunch of lines. And how many people would choose to learn lines and practice their speech and their facial stuff over waking up every day early in the morning, probably reaching home late in the night, carrying garbage and shit, coming home smelling and shit, you know what I'm saying? And get but barely any money for that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people would have tried to play like being an actor is so much more difficult than it actually is. And he just let y'all know like, hey, nah, that shit easy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like people get along with Denzel more. People respect him a lot more because he'll just say it how it is.
Real work, the kind that shapes character, is found in the everyday struggles of ordinary people. Hollywood is nothing in comparison. This comment cuts through the illusion of celebrity and reminds us that success comes from real hard work, not from fame or popularity. In a world where woke culture often elevates celebrities as moral authorities, Denzel grounds the conversation in reality, reminding us where true value lies. Finally, Denzel brings the conversation full circle by addressing the media's role in shaping perceptions, especially in an age where misinformation runs rampant.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's the great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We
You always want to be first because there's so many people trying to do the same thing. So many people trying to get into the same field. For example, a good example is actually YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at when something bad happens or when something good happens. But let's go more bad because more people jump on bad shit than good shit. But look at when something bad happens. Oh, there's endless videos. There's endless videos. Your homepage is filled. Fucking Instagram gets filled. TikTok gets filled. Like everywhere gets flooded. And it's not like people like flooding the thing like it's news, like he was saying in the beginning. It's people just flooding it just to get stuff out there just to get the clicks, just get people to come watch it and stuff. And no one cares about what they actually post. They just trying to post it to see how much views they can get first before anybody else gets views. You know what I'm saying?
Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
This is a strong rebuke of the current
Including
media
bullshit.
landscape, which often amplifies narratives
I'ma say
without
it.
fact-checking. Woke culture, too, thrives on these quick reactions and viral moments. Denzel's point? Truth and integrity should always come before speed and spectacle. Denzel Washington's perspective is clear. Personal responsibility, critical thinking, and unity are the keys to navigating today's complex world. He challenges the surface-level narratives of woke culture, urging us to dig deeper and take control of our own lives. But now, the real question is, what do you think? Do you agree with Denzel's views on race, culture, and accountability?
I do.
Or do you see things differently? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe
Yes,
button and turn
sir.
on notifications.
By the way, this video was made by Woke something. Let me check. Woke Watch. It was made by Woke Watch. So you guys can check him out if you like. He has other celebrities doing, well, basically he's got other videos with different celebrities doing basically the same thing. But you guys can check that out. His video is kind of cool. But yeah, that's it for this video from me. If you guys want me to watch another one from a different celebrity or just something else in general, or you want to play a game or anything, you guys can see that I'm clearly just doing anything on this channel, you know what I'm saying, whatever I feel like. And yeah, so just let me know what you guys want me to do and I'll give it a shot. Till then, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.